Welcome to the complete guide to ImagineArt workflows. I'm David with the ImagineArt team, and today I'm going to walk you through every single node in the system, not just what they do, but how to actually use them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which node to reach for in any creative situation. Workflows is ImagineArt's visual node-based system. Instead of working with one AI tool at a time, you connect multiple models and operations into pipelines. The output of one node feeds into the next, letting you automate complex creative processes. To add any node, just double-click the canvas or hit the plus button in the left panel. You'll see everything organized into categories: add, image, video, and text. The upload node is your entry point for existing assets. Click it, and you can drag in images, videos, or other media files from your computer. So I'm uploading this image here, and once it's in, you'll see a preview right on the node. The key thing is the output connector on the right side. That's how the image flows into other nodes. So a common use case is you've got a product photo and you want to animate it. The upload goes into a generate video node, and now your still image becomes motion. Or upload feeds into edit image, where you want to have AI-powered modifications to existing work. The prompt node is where you write instructions for the AI. This is the most fundamental node in the entire system. Almost every generation workflow starts here. Let me just type something here. So again, see the connector here on the right? That's your prompt output. We drag from here into any generation node, either image or video, and your text becomes the creative direction. Be specific. The more detail you give, the better your results. Describe lighting, mood, style, camera angle, everything you'd tell a photographer or an artist. The image node is your generation engine for still images. Connect a prompt, select your AI model from the dropdown, and hit generate. So I'm going to connect this prompt, and I'm going to connect my reference image. And I'm going to choose Nano Banana Pro because it is, in my opinion, the best image model available right now for doing image edits. I'm going to choose a 16:9 aspect ratio because I want this to be a landscape widescreen. And then I'm going to hit Run Selected. The image is going to generate right here on the canvas. Output will appear in the node ready to connect downstream to other nodes in your pipeline. The video node works in the same way, but outputs motion. You connect a prompt or an image, then you select your video model, Kling, Veo, Hilo, whatever fits your project, and you generate video directly on the canvas. We'll do a full demo of this in the video section. AI Copilot is your creative assistant. Feed it a rough idea, and it helps refine your prompt, suggest improvements, or generates variations. Think of it as a brainstorming partner built into your workflow. Put your prompt in, connect your reference image, and hit Run, and you'll get a well-formatted prompt specifically for your use case. The audio node handles sound inputs. This is for voiceover and becomes essential when we get to lip sync, where audio drives character animation. Essentials is a submenu containing your most used utility functions. These are quick access tools for common operations. As you build more workflows, you'll find yourself reaching for these at times. Import is essentially the upload feature we've explored earlier. Export just as a way to connect one node and have it export a specific file. Preview allows you to preview the output of a node and then transfer it to a further pipeline down the line. Then router allows you to take the output of one node and split it to multiple input nodes. So let's build an image generation workflow from scratch. I'll add a AI Copilot node where I'm going to put my basic prompt in here, but have it do the actual prompt that the image generator receives. I'm going to select Gemini 3.0 Preview as my model here. And when I run it, I get back a very densely packed prompt that will guide the image model very specifically. Now I'm going to add an image generation node and connect the output of the AI Copilot node to the prompt. So in settings, I'm going to select a model that handles fantasy environments very well. I'm going to choose my image size, my aspect ratio. I want to do a portrait mode. And I'm going to hit Run Selected. The AI interprets our description, and in seconds, you have an image right here in the workflow. Now, Generate Image also supports image to image. If I connect an upload node with a reference photo, the AI uses that as a starting point while following my prompt. It's great for style transfer or guided generation, but you can also do it with image generation nodes chained together. So I'm going to add another image node, and then I'm going to add a prompt saying, convert this to a dystopian techno landscape. I'm going to connect that to my new image generation node. And I'm going to use Dream again. I'm going to keep the same resolution and hit run. You can see in the output that it very much looks like our original image, just with techno landscape details added here. So that's one way you can do an image to image operation. And then the other way is a more traditional edit. So let's add somebody to this scene. And this time I'm going to use NanoBanana Pro, which I think is fantastic at editing operations on images. So I added my new image node. I'm going to add another prompt node. We're going to add a hooded figure standing in the foreground looking at the temple. Add that to the prompt. I'm going to check my settings. NanoBanana Pro is fine. Same aspect ratio, resolution 2K. So what we're looking for here is for it to leave the image pretty much entirely the same and just add a new figure to it. And there we have our figure added seamlessly into the scene. The AI understands context, lighting, and style, so the edit blends naturally. It looks exactly the same, just with a new figure added to it. Other edit operations you can do: you can remove objects, change colors, swap elements, adjust style. If your generation is 90% there, edit image gets you to 100%. And you can see the power of workflows right here, that we're moving from one image model to another seamlessly without having to download the file to your computer and then re-upload it into a new generation. Now, Enhance Image is your upscaler. It increases resolution while preserving and often improving details. We have the ImagineArt subtle and creative upscalers, and then the Topaz upscale. Most of the time, the ImagineArt upscalers will get you to where you need, but if you're finding you're not quite getting the detail you need, you can try out the Topaz, which is a little bit more costly, but more effective. So the subtle upscale tries to preserve details as much as possible, just enhancing the resolution. The creative upscaler allows you to mostly preserve the details, but you get back a finished product that may have some more creativity established in it. Let's try it out. So this is an example where I didn't actually like the creativity that the upscaler chose. So I'm going to instead switch it over to the subtle. I'm going to leave it at 2x. I'm going to enable aura enhancement, which should allow just some finer details to pop up. I'm going to hit run. So now we have our subtle upscale, and I'm going to zoom into both of the images so you can see the differences. So here is the original image. And here is the upscale. You can see it changed a little bit of the detail of the figure here, but there's a lot more crispness in the plants in the column. So if we zoom in side by side here, over here on the left is the original, and here's the upscaled. You can see more finer details in the vines, less pixelation. That's what you get with upscale. So let's move on to image utility nodes. Crop lets you trim your image. I'll select the area I want to keep, maybe just the temple entrance, and the rest is removed. Perfect for reframing or creating focused compositions. If I output a preview node here, you can see the results. Resize allows you to change dimensions. If you need a square format for Instagram or a 16:9 for a YouTube thumbnail, you can set your target size here, and you can choose to unlink them to maintain aspect ratio or stretch to fit. Whatever size you specify here is what it'll output. And then if we unlink the outputs, you can see it's going to stretch to fit, which can be a little wonky. So experiment, see what works best for you. Now, levels allow you to adjust your image using a histogram. Say you're used to working in Photoshop or other photo editing tools. You have your sliders here to make the shadows deeper, the brightness brighter. You can adjust your color tone. You can work on individual image channels to adjust the shadows and highlights on those channels. Then you have your filters, which allow you to adjust your exposure, contrast, saturation, color temperature. Anybody who's used to working with photos or images on a regular basis should be right at home here. The Remove Background tool isolates your subject automatically. So the AI detects the foreground and removes everything behind it. This can be essential for product photography, creating assets for composites, or anywhere you need transparency. You chain all these together and you've got a complete post-processing pipeline without ever leaving the canvas. Now let's generate some video. There are two main approaches, text to video and image to video. First, text to video. I'll add a prompt node. Drone shot flying through a misty forest at sunrise, rays of light breaking through trees, cinematic slow motion. Now I'm going to add a video node and I'm going to connect it. And I'm going to choose VO 3.1. It's been my favorite lately. And a 1080p resolution. You can choose to generate audio or not with this model. For the sake of this demo, I'm not going to generate audio. And you can choose to enhance your prompt or auto fix the prompt. I'm just going to leave it the prompt as is for right now. Now you'll notice this is going to take a little bit longer than images, usually a minute or two, depending on the model. And then we'll see our drone footage in just a moment. And there it is, smooth drone movement through the forest, exactly as described. Now, if we want to do image to video, I'm going to use an image from my assets. And this is where you can find any of your creations or your uploaded assets. So I'm going to choose this shot here. I'm going to add a prompt node. I'm going to connect the start frame and the prompt. And I'm going to choose my settings. For this one, this is specifically for a video I'm making, and I want it to generate audio because I want to hear the young man scream, "This is content." So aspect ratio 16:9, 1080p resolution, it all looks good. We're going to hit run. And there we have it. The AI takes our still image and brings it to life. See how it interpreted the motion direction and added subtle environmental animation? It's an incredibly powerful tool for turning any artwork into motion content. So the enhanced video upscales video quality, just like its image counterpart. I'm going to use the Topaz upscaler for this one. I'm going to connect our video, which is at 1080p. I'm going to do an upscale factor of 2x. I'm going to leave the target frame rate at 30 frames per second. I'm going to use H.264 output and then hit run. This will take a few minutes. It processes frame by frame. Results are going to be sharper details, cleaner motion, ready for professional delivery. It's really useful, especially if you're starting with a lower res content and need broadcast or print quality. And there we have it, our enhanced video. It's hard to see it in this small format, but this is a 2K instead of a 1080p. Now, extend video lengthens your clips. You've got a perfect 4-second video, but you need it to be 10 seconds. This is your solution. We're going to use Pixverse Extend. I'm going to set the resolution to 1080p, the duration 5 seconds. This is going to add an additional 5 seconds to our 4-second video and turn it into 9 seconds, almost 10 seconds. We're going to add a prompt telling it to discontinue the motion and then connect our previous video. There we go. You can see on the timeline here, we started with 4 seconds and now we're up to 8. So it's probably closer to 9, but it's just cropping the number there. And it extends the video without any breaks, any gaps in continuity or consistency. So very useful when you have specific timings you need to hit. So next up is motion transfer, where things can get really creative. You capture movement from one source and apply it to a completely different image. So here's how it works. I need 2 inputs, a source video with the motion I want to capture. In this case, I'm using a trimmed video of a ballerina dancing. And then I have my character reference, and I've generated an illustration of a young woman dancing. So I'm going to add my motion transfer node. There's several different ways of accomplishing this. Replace will generate basically the same video as what your input video is, and it's going to try to replace the character with the illustration. I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Move will make your illustration move just like the character in your reference video. Runway Act 2 will accomplish something very similar to WAN 2.2 Move, and then Moon Valley as well. So I'm going to create a replace node first, connect my character image, my reference video, and hit run. So here we can see the results of WAN 2.2 replace, which doesn't alter the video that much. It's more like it's trying to apply the style of the reference character. And then here is move, which definitely takes the reference character and makes it, look like it's applying the same motion. Then we have Runways Act 2, pretty similar to Move. I didn't find it was quite as coherent, or Moon Valley. So basically the AI extracts the movement data from my source and applies it to the illustration, so my drawn character can perform the exact same dance. This is massive for animation, character work, and creating content without traditional motion capture setups. It's quite impressive. Next up, we have lip sync, which synchronizes mouth movements to your audio source. It's essential for talking head content, avatar video dubbing, and character animation. So we need two inputs, a video or image with a face, and an audio track with speech, which we can generate using the audio node. So I'm going to hook up my 11 Labs text-to-speech audio node, and I'm going to put in a little script. And generate our speech. All right, so I've got my audio generated. Now I want to lip sync. So I've added my lip sync node, and there's lots of different models to choose from here. My best advice is to play around and see which model works out best for your specific use case. They're all, they all vary in their strengths and weaknesses. So for this demo, we're going to use Kling's AI Avatar Pro image to video. I'm going to connect my image, connect my audio, and I'm not going to use a prompt because this doesn't really need one. I'm just going to hit run. Check out this result. The character's lips match the audio naturally. It even captures subtle expressions and timing. This used to require frame-by-frame animation work. Now it's just one node connection. So now, last we have the video utilities nodes. Crop allows you to resize the dimensions of your video for different platforms. There we have cropped video. Blur adds depth effect or privacy masking. Resize, just like with the image node, allows you to change the dimensions of your video. Extract video frame allows you to take a single frame of your video and spit it out as an image. This would be really useful if you were needing to extend a video or start from a certain place in a video for your edit. You can create seamless loops this way. You can give your image to video process a start frame and an end frame that matches the end frame of your video. Levels, just like with images, allows you to adjust your histogram, your color channels across the whole video at once. Filters allow you to correct your exposure, your contrast, your saturation across your whole video. Finally, video trimmer allows you to make your video shorter and choose precisely where it ends. So that's it, everyone. Quick recap. Add nodes brings in your inputs, uploads, prompts, generation engines. Image nodes handle everything from creation to editing the enhancements. Video nodes generate, upscale, extend, transfer motion, and lip sync. Text nodes help you build and refine the prompts that drive everything. Start with a simple two-node workflow. Prompt into generation, then add processing, then add branches. Before long, you'll be building automated pipelines that handle your entire creative process. Check the docs at help.imagine.art for deeper dives on any specific feature. Now go build something incredible.